Welcome back, design students. In this video, we're going to add textures to our windows and doors to make them look like windows and doors. And then we're going to continue the texturing process in subsequent videos. As you can see, I've added more detail to my house here. I actually added some framing here that looks more like a real house would look, just to add to the realism. And these are nothing more than boxes. All I did was copy one and just move it a little bit so it looks like it's angled against the house, and then just copied it. I want to point out a couple of things to you before we move on. In our Scene Explorer here, every single thing we have here is named box, whether it's box 1 or box 30. It would have been better to rename or to name all of these objects as we were moving along, so that if we import them into something else, they have a name that means something. So I'm going to go ahead and name my house, and I'm going to name the roof, but I have two roofs. Actually, I have three, so this is roof 1, and this is chimney. I'm not going to make you watch me do this, but I'm going to do this and then I'll come back. So I wanted to show you this. I was going through these one by one, but I went in Tools and I found Rename Objects. And it looks like we can select a bunch of objects here. These are all the rafters that I created. And I can rename these as rafter. And I can give them a suffix of, or I can give them a base, I can make them numbered, and I can give them a base number of 03 or 3. Click rename. There you go. So that works very nicely. It saved me a whole lot of time. And then the other thing we should have done right at the start is created a project folder. So I'm going to go to File, Project, Create Default. And then I'm going to go to my Documents folder. I've asked you to put your new projects in the DDA folder, DDA2 folder. So I'm going to name this House. Actually, I'm going to make a new folder. Name it House. Then I'm going to select that folder. And that should be where my new project is. And then I'm going to save my project, and it's going into the House Scenes folder. I'm going to name this House 01. And now I'm all set up. Now, one of the things you need to texture the doors and windows, of course, is textures. I've provided some textures for you on the D drive for windows and doors. So you need to go there and find some that you like. And then what we're going to do is place them in the project folder. You need to place them inside your new project folder. Here's my house project folder. Inside the Scene Assets Images folder. And here are the ones that I've selected for my project. Once you've done that, then you select the polygons that make up the door and the window that you want to work with. And then we're going to detach them. And the reason we're going to detach them, actually let's do them one at a time. The reason we're going to detach them is just simply because it's easier than doing it another way. So find the Detach button and click Detach. And it will detach as object. So you need to select that new object and name it something. I'm going to name this door. And I'm going to do the same for the window, but I have to go to top level before I can select it. And I'm going to select these polygons and detach them. Find the object and rename it. And now let's work on these two objects. So we need a material for each one. So go to the material editor, that's M on your keyboard, or this button right here. And then we're going to create, let's do the door first, and then we're going to create a new material, a new physical material. Just click and drag it into the slate. And then we're going to drag off the base color map, select General, Bitmap, and look where it goes, right to your Scene Assets Images folder. That's why I wanted you to put them in here. So I'm going to select this door first, and then I'm going to take this output node and drop it onto my new door. I'm going to close this for now because I don't need it at the moment. Now this obviously doesn't look very good, so we need to put a UV map on it to make it fit. So select the object, click your modifier list, and find UVW Map. I don't know why mine gets cut off like that sometimes. UVW Map. And then you're going to select box projection instead of planar. And now we need to resize this map. So for the width of the box, I'm just going to drag this like so. And then I'm going to open up the UVW Map modifier and select the gizmo and center this a little better. And then I'm going to adjust the height and the width a little more. And move it into place. Now remember, I'm moving the map gizmo here. That's what I'm doing, until you get it to look like you want. And then you have to select the map itself to get out of that gizmo mode, and then select the next object. I'm going to close this material and make another physical material. And this one I'm going to name Window 01. And base color map, General, Bitmap. And I think I'm going to start with this window here. Actually, no, I think I'm going to put this one with shutters. I can't decide. And drag the output node and drop it on and close it. And then add a UVW map to it. You could select box, but you could also change the projection of this thing, and you can rotate it. I mean, you could do that. You could leave it as planar if you wanted to. Just selecting box is just easier. And select the gizmo so you can move it, and then work on the length and the width and the height to get it to be like you want it. Now, I could use this just like this, or I could make it much bigger and move the gizmo so that I'm just using one of the windows, like this. And then I can use the other one as well if I want to. And you just continue the process. And that's how you texture the windows and the doors. When we come back, we'll do the roof, and we'll start to do some of the timbers and the floor and the chimney, and we'll just keep going with this. And I'll see you then.